Latest market data is out. We'll take a look at what's going on in the Big Island real estate market coming up next. All right, what's happening, friends? We are here with the Big Island market update for October. We'll be looking at the September numbers as we always do and seeing how they compare to the previous month and previous year. And so looking at just top line numbers for the month of September, we had 1,806 active listings. We always go back to this number, and I always provide the context that this number used to be in normal times 3,500 to 4,000. So we are at like half normal inventory levels, and that continues to not rise. And the number of properties under contract are pretty much staying steady at around 700, a little bit below, a little bit above. And we've had this year to date in the last 12 months, 4,637 sales, 4,637 sales. And that is lower than previous years, way lower than the unicorn years of 21 and 22, but around that 5,000 mark, which is on average historically how many sales happen per every 12 months. And so looking at the monthly comparison, if we jump to that slide, 1 second here, we're looking at the residential market here. So this is looking at this past month, the month previous, and then 12 months previous. And so looking at the number of sales in the residential market, there was 160 in September. There was 185, so there was more the previous month. But if you look at a year ago in September, there was 205. So this was definitely lower than the month previous and the month and 12 months ago. But if we look at median price across the island for residential was $530. It was $495 the previous month, and a year ago it was $530. So we're almost exactly where we were median price wise. So less activity like we've been seeing, but not a drop in median price. If we go to the condo market here, it's kind of the opposite. We've had more sales in the condo market this past month at 56 than we had 51 the month previous, and then we had 50 a year ago. And if you look at price wise, pretty much almost flat. So current median price is $620 for condos. The month previous it was $625, and a year ago it was $620. So almost exactly on par to where we were price wise from a year ago in the condo market. This is the 12-month chart, which I like to look at. It kind of shows you the trends on how many sales are happening month after month. And so as we saw, the big number back in June was we had this big spike back up. We were kind of climbing back up in terms of market activity and how many sales were happening month after month after month. And we got all the way up to 501. And then we saw this huge drop off down to 361 back in July. And then we had a little bump back up in August to 428. And then now we are back down to 387. So we're kind of in a weird little market here where things are kind of bumping up and down in terms of total number of sales, and this includes residential, condos, and land. But we are definitely not on the recovery trajectory that we were really from the beginning of the year. We were seeing a steady incline in the number of sales month after month. It's dropped back down, and we're kind of hovering around 400 on average, which again historically is kind of where the market normally is. That gets us to about 5,000 sales every 12 months, which is the historical average. So that's pretty much what's going on. No huge news. Anybody waiting for prices to fall? That is definitely not happening. As we're seeing, prices are at least steady, if not a little bit higher than they were a year ago, even though we are seeing a decline in market activity. The one big piece of advice that I have right now in the market for buyers especially is, it's funny, with all the uncertainty in the world and interest rates being very high, although inventory is very, very low, sellers have this mindset right now that they kind of have to take what they can get. And I'm seeing a lot of concessions in offers on the market where sellers may not get multiple offers. So they get one offer that's decent and they'll just take it. They won't even counter on price, or because there's some uncertainty that they may not get another offer, right? So even though sellers really technically have the upper hand right now because there is such a low inventory market, we are seeing a lot of concessions on the buy side. So if you're in a position to buy right now, like we've been saying the last couple of months, you're probably in the best position you've been in the last 24, 36 months, because you don't have that high level of competition and 25 offers coming in the first week. And sellers have it in their mind right now, just given what's going on in the media and everything else in the world. You know, we got stuff going on in Israel right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. Sellers are a little bit, I think, scared. They're apprehensive about what the market's going to do. And so they're much more willing to take a ready and willing buyer right now than we've seen in the past. And so if you have any questions about any of this or your sub-market or your area, you can always reach out, Dylan@buyabigisland.com, and we can take a deeper look. And you can always book a meeting in the comments below. There's a link to book a meeting if you want to have a discussion about your current situation or your plans for real estate here in Hawaii. Be happy to talk to you, and I'll see you guys next month with the market update. Aloha.